Whoa, buddy. Put that thing back in its holster. We haven't gone anywhere.
I don't understand.
Check out the MichaelDukesShow.com for information on how to get access to the podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal.
The Michael Dukes Show.
The greed and the entitlement is astounding to me.
What more could you want from a low-budget radio program?
This is a dumpster fire.
That was just BS.
It is time to get a new perspective.
We know just what you need, and we've got just the cure. Open wide and prepare for a steaming hot cup of freedom.
I just don't fathom it.
The Michael Dukes Show, streaming live across the world.
Well, happy Thanksgiving week, and welcome to it. Live around the world on the interwebs at MichaelDukesShow.com and across the state of Alaska on this, your favorite radio station and or FM translator. Hello, my friends. Are you ready for this beautiful 4-day weekend? The happy Thanksgiving Turkey Eve. That's right. We're here. We are only we're only 3 weeks away from Christmas week. My goodness, it's coming fast. It's coming fast and it's coming furious. And I hope you guys are all ready for another beautiful Christmas and Thanksgiving and holiday season. My favorite time of the year is right about now, and historically around this time of year, I reach my threshold for the political Bert Stedman, the political BS. I reach the point of where I'm like, I just don't care anymore. I just want to feel good. I want to enjoy some family time. I want to relax and rest and rejuvenate and remember what's important out there. And while what we cover on a daily basis here on the program regarding things happening here in the state of Alaska, while they are important, they are not the most important things, right? Your family, your friends, your life, your career, all those things are super important, and we need to remember that. And so that's what we're doing today. And today it is Thanksgiving. It is the eve of Thanksgiving. And Rick just said it's too early and my coffee tastes like crap. Need to put something in it. Rick, you have my full permission to put something in your coffee to make it taste better. I mean, I will write you a doctor's note. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV, but I will write you a doctor's note if it's required to make that happen. Something Irish in your coffee always makes it taste better, and you choose whatever that Irish thing is, whether it's Irish cream or butter or whiskey, whatever it is. It's all good. All right. So what are we doing today? Well, I'll tell you what we're not doing. There's plenty of stories out there. There's plenty of politics that we could go into. And I've drawn the line and I've said, no, today it's about memories. It's about traditions. It's about the important stuff, the things that you remember. It's about all the good stuff that makes you smile. It's the stuff that while you're laying on your deathbed, you'll look back on and you'll think about, boy, yeah, that was some good times. That was some good memories, not who's running for what or what the latest debacle is that's going on down in Juneau or anything else. It will be, the things that you remember and the important things. And today is very much a participatory show. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you because today we want you to share your memories with us as well. And that's going to be simple and easy. All you got to do is is give us a call. We're opening up the phone lines right now at 319-527-3864. 319-527-3864. If you want to call in and share a Christmas memory or a Thanksgiving memory, holiday memory with us. We're probably going to do the same thing around Christmas because there's plenty of stuff. There's plenty of stuff to be happy about around the Christmas time. Thanksgiving's a little different, but I still have plenty of great memories around Thanksgiving, and we'll do it. But I need you. I need your help today. I need your help. And I want you to think about one of your favorite Thanksgiving memories. What are the ones that have stuck with you for your whole life? And you can tell the story today and share it with me. I love it. I love it. Anthony, and I'm going to be referencing the chat room a lot today because the chat room always shares some great stuff. And I don't always share the stuff with you, but today I'm going to because there's some good stuff out there. Anthony says, politics is my life. My family and friends come second to my irrational ideology and TikTok form worldviews. Yes, Anthony, I know that the irony is thick there. It's all good. It's going to be good. Frank says, my fondest memories of the cat show on Problem Corner. Frank is talking about a show that I did that lived in infamy. This is a show. It's the only time my brother has been on the program with me. And we shared memories of our father and our grandfather and the story of a cat that, boy, it upset some people. I'm sure I have a copy of that show somewhere. But it was the story of my dad growing up and my grandfather and a cat. And Frank remembers that show quite a bit. That was also a good, it's all good. We will talk about some unique Thanksgiving recipes today. We'll talk about some unique Thanksgiving traditions. I've got a list of what they're calling the 45 best movies for Thanksgiving. And I'll be honest, I was doing some research on this last night and this morning. And surprisingly, I have not heard of or watched probably 41 of the 45 best movies for Thanksgiving. Again, I feel like my movie card should be revoked. I hadn't heard of a lot of these movies, let alone watched them. But we're gonna go through those as well. But most importantly, we're going to share our memories with each other and just kind of get in the mood and in the spirit of the holiday. Thanksgiving is a good precursor to the rest of the holiday season, right? It's that kickoff that lets you feel good and let you really enjoy the rest of the time. Now, I've got to say that first and foremost, if we're going to start with one of the best traditions of the holidays, that we should start off with the tradition of thankfulness. And so I will share with you what I am thankful for this year. And what has been good. If you had told me that, first of all, that we would get to the almost 1 year mark of Terry and I's ownership of the radio stations down here, I would have, this quickly, if we'd gotten, I would have said you're crazy. But I am thankful to, God Almighty and to Providence and to everything else that this opportunity came to us. I am thankful that I'm here where I have yearned to be for a long time, down in Homer. I don't know why. I don't know why the area, the community, the place spoke to me so much, but it did. and things just came together. And I'm very thankful that this is where we are, and that we've had a pretty successful first year, and I'm just ecstatic, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to all you listeners for helping with the show and everything else, but this venture has been the biggest thing that I've ever done in my life, and I am just thankful to all the people that helped make it happen. I will just say Chris Story was instrumental in helping me behind the scenes with this, to the Beckers who own the radio stations before, to just a variety of folks out there who were very helpful. And I'm thankful for each and every one of them, because this has been, there's been, when you look at your bucket list and you say things you want to do in your life, things where you want to be and what you want to do, this opportunity checked off several of those bucket list items on the way by. And sometimes it's big, sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's frustrating, but in the end, it is something that I am extremely thankful for. I'm thankful for, obviously, for the show and for the, continued success of this radio broadcast. I've been doing this show since 1999. So 25 years of talking about things, local stuff. It started off in Fairbanks, and then it went down later on to Anchorage and then statewide. And I'm just grateful for all of you who have been with us. Some of you have been with us for 20 years, and I appreciate that as well. I'm thankful for all of you guys as well. And now coming closer to home, I'm thankful for my family, and I'm thankful that I've got my family around me. Now, my son lives in Wasilla, and he's coming down tomorrow for Thanksgiving. This boy has grown. He just graduated as a firefighter. He got his first certification, and he's working on his second one already, as a firefighter there in the Mat-Su Valley, following his dream. And I couldn't be prouder. I just couldn't be prouder of him. My daughter lives with her husband in Florida. We miss her greatly, and our granddaughter, but we'll see them. We'll see them soon. We'll see them here in the future. But all the rest of the kids are down here with us in Homer. And so we're going to get a chance tomorrow to spend some time together and to really just enjoy and be thankful together. I'm really happy and excited about that as well. And thankful for my dad and my mom who are watching the show or listening to the show right now. My dad jumps into the chat room every morning with us. I miss seeing him. I miss seeing them all the time, but they're doing great, and I'm thankful for them as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about some Christmas or some Thanksgiving memories. I'm already on to Christmas for those of you who are not. And we're going to visit around and talk about that. Now, I've opened up the phone lines again for you to share. If you want to just say what you're thankful for, if you just want to share your best Thanksgiving memory, you can do that as well. I'm going to share a couple of my Thanksgiving memories that I remember, and we'll keep going on. Just give us a call right now, 319-527-3864, 319-527-3864, and you guys can share it directly. We've also got some, like I said, coming out of the chat room, and we'll keep talking about those as well. Meanwhile, we're coming up, and I'm sorry if I'm a little under the weather. Half the family's sick for Thanksgiving. Isn't that great? A little bit under the weather. So if I sound a little grainy or I got to clear my throat, it's because I'm trying to clear my throat. Get with the program here. All right. We're going to be back here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. The Michael Duke Show Common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. We will return with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Running on 100% pure beard power. Oh, also some coffee. We dip our beard in coffee.
Ha, nice beard.
The Michael Duke Show.
Okay, let me get caught up in the chat room here. Gordon says, firefighting and paramedics has been a gratifying career, 25 years now. Congratulations to your son. I thank you, Gordon. Yeah, he's working on Firefighter 2 now and ETT. I guess it's the intro to the paramedics course. He's gonna do it all. He wants to do an engineer. He wants to get the engineer thing. He wants to. The boy is a go-getter. I don't know where he gets it, but he is. He's an amazing man, and I could not be prouder than I am of him. All right. Homer is awesome. If it wasn't full of liberal hippies. Come on, Richie. That's crazy. At least you have Chris Story in your neighborhood and the rest of us in the Kenai, Soldotna, Sterling areas. Thank you for that, Richie. It's fun. Frank, I'm going to put that in my list of traditions. Tim says, please include an address and show times when sharing a recipe. I'm hungry. Come on, Tim. You just have to write it down and get you have to get your stuff all good to go. All right. Good morning. So Brian says, so what's the backstory with the burned down childhood home that Tim mentioned? Tim mentioned it to you. Did you meet Tim? Tim is my son. What's the backstory with the burned down childhood home Tim mentioned, or did I misinterpret that? Well, his childhood home burned down. Their childhood home burned down. The house that we spent 20 years, 15 years, I guess, in North Pole. It did burn down after we moved to Wasilla. There is a whole backstory there, but we'll get into it. Oh, Lisa, I'm listening, but I'm so sick, throwing up all night. It's been rough. I don't know. There's something going around because I'm sick. Terry's sick. Maggie's sick. Emily's not been feeling 100%. She's not to the sick level yet, but yeah, nothing worse than a holiday where everybody's not feeling good, right? We have so much work to do. Sourdough said, I have to be honest, Thanksgiving is a real downer for our family this year. Lots of family strife on my wife's side. She's tried to repair it for Thanksgiving, but her mother is a bit stubborn. And sorry to air out the dirty laundry. He says, you know what, Sourdough? It's okay. This too shall pass. My wife has been estranged from her mother for 15 years, 12 years, something like that. And it's just, sometimes it happens. And, all you can do is find the little things that you enjoy together. So just, cleave to your wife and, give her the joy that the rest of her family should be giving her. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Yep. Sarah Vance. Sarah Vance, Kevin says he's grateful for her down here. Harold says I should get some Baileys with Folgers after shopping. Sure. Why not? It's the only thing that makes Folgers drinkable is a little Bailey's in it. It's the only thing that makes Folgers drinkable. Anthony says to my dad, I got to check my records. Did we do your boiler this year, Ron Dukes? Don't want to have you any issues this winter. My VIP clients must not feel the cold. So Dad and Anthony will have a meeting of the minds. And yeah, Anthony and Gary used to do all the work on my place too. Before I burned it down and came down here. I didn't burn it down. It burned down while I was down here. So don't even think of that. All right. Okay. Well, you guys are all pretty quiet this morning. Unacceptable. We'll jump back into it. We're about 20 seconds out right now. Don't forget you could call in and share your stuff. I'd love to hear your stories. You don't want it to be all just me this morning. I mean, first of all, I don't know if my voice will hold out. Second of all, we need to hear more from you guys. Give us a ring. Let's do it. Here we go.
The Michael Duke Show, proudly splitting the left versus right dichotomy. Yeah, I had to look that word up too. I don't think it means what he thinks it means. Here he is, though. That guy, Michael Dukes, the one with the show.
Okay. Everybody's trying to get awake. Everybody's coffeeing up this morning in the chat room. Everybody, I mean, I had a rock star and a cup of coffee. My heart's going a million miles an hour. I'm kidding. I only had the rock star. We're ready to go. I had to do something to get my eyelids open this morning just to get things going. Couldn't breathe last night. You know, I've used a CPAP for a long time. I have sleep apnea. So in case if you haven't listened to the show for a long time, you probably don't know that. I haven't mentioned it in quite a while, but it was life-changing when I got my diagnosis and I got my CPAP. But they never tell you that the worst part about using a CPAP when you sleep is that if you get sick and your head gets all stuffy, you feel like you're drowning because you can't breathe through your nose. Last night, I'm trying to roll one side, the other side, lay on my back, blow my nose, you know. Anyway, it's good. Sorry. Anthony just said something in the chat room that is hysterical. I'll address that in a minute, Anthony. All right. So the phone number to call. This show is just going to be by the seat of the pants today, folks, right? I want it to be a conversation. I want you guys to hang out, and I'm going to tell you a couple of my favorite Thanksgiving memories. And then if you guys don't call and share, then I guess you hate me. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But the number to call is 319-527-3864 if you've got a memory or somebody you want to wish a happy Thanksgiving to, maybe a family member or somebody else that may be listening. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say as well. So let's break it off and start talking about it. So my Thanksgivings, especially growing up, were always great because the whole family got together, and by the whole family, I mean my mom and her brother and sister, all of their kids, my grandmother and grandfather on my mother's side, all local there in Fairbanks. Big extended family, must have been 20, 25 of us at some point. I think when it got to the big one. And we would travel down to Grandma and Grandpa's house, their condo down on off Barnett Street there, every Thanksgiving for the big turkey dinner and all the get-togethers and the gatherings and everything else. It was a lot of fun. I remember, just being so happy to be with everybody, and my grandfather was probably one of my favorite people in the world, and just getting a chance to be with him, to chat as I got older, to understand more, and to just absorb some wisdom, from my grandfather there, to be with the whole family. It wasn't a Thanksgiving where, we didn't have a Thanksgiving where there was a TV on or anything, right? You know what I mean? We didn't watch the Macy's Day Parade or football or anything else. We sat around and talked. and everybody sat around and talked. And I still remember moving from the kids' table to the adults' table. Now, my grandmother had a table that was huge. It probably had 5 leaves in the middle of it. When you spread, it was one of those expandable tables where you put the leaves in it. Must have had 4 or 5 leaves in it, because that table went from being, like a 5 or 6 person table to a 15 or 20 person table. It was amazing. But I remember still moving from the kids' table to the adults' table, and how great that made me feel, that we'd made it up there at that point. And then one of my other, probably the one that I remember the most, I don't remember how old I was. I was a kid. Maybe I was in my early teens. I don't know. Maybe I was in double digits, so maybe 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know. But I remember we were driving home from Thanksgiving, and we were on Farmers Loop Road, and we were going up into the hills to go up to a folks' house, and we slid off the road into a ditch in this hairpin curve area here. And I just remember that somebody came, and I don't remember who it was. I don't remember I just remember that they came and they helped us, and they drug us out of the ditch on this Thanksgiving Eve. And it was 10 below, 20 below. It was not warm by any means. And I just remember the help that we got to get everybody, that they got us out of the ditch, and we drove it on home. But I just remember how polite and pleasant and helpful whoever this person was that helped us out of the ditch on Thanksgiving Eve, or on Thanksgiving Day, I guess so many years ago. That's another great memory. Just because, here we are. There was I think must have been 2, 3 of us. Maybe my sister was born at that point, the oldest of the 2 sisters. But yeah, I just remember we were in a big Jeep Wagoneer, slid right off into the ditch there, trying to go around that curve. It was icy and cold, but they pulled us out. They came out, they helped us, they pulled us out. That's how I remember it anyway. Maybe my dad will correct me. Maybe he called a tow truck. I don't remember, but I just remember people being very happy and grateful. And it was, it's all good. It's all good. All right. So those are some of my Thanksgiving memories. And of course, the Thanksgivings with my family after we got married, when Terry and I first got started with our family, we spent some time with her folks, with her grand folks before they passed away. And those were amazing times as well. But those first Thanksgivings with our own kids were even more amazing. And it's just a great time of year. It's just a great time of year to hang out and do what you need to do. All right. So those are some of my Thanksgiving memories that I just wanted to share with you. Let's see what you guys feel like. 319-527-3864 if you want to sound off and give us some of your best memories. Could be of your childhood, could be of your early times or Thanksgivings around. We'd love to hear what you have to say. I hear that Brian is here on the line, and I didn't mute everything, so let me mute it real quick. And Brian,
all participants are muted.
I'm going to put Brian back on the line here right now. Good morning, Brian. How are you, my friend?
I am up and taking nourishment. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Did you find your apple core? I'm just asking.
No, I'm still digging through drawers. I found some novelty ice cube trays that are, I think they are supposed to be a representation of male genitalia. No idea why we have those. But anyway, I realize just how much junk is in these drawers, and that's going to be a project for another day. Yeah. Anyway, your comment about the kids' table and the adult table.
Right.
My mom's parents lived in northeastern Colorado in a really small farming town. My dad's parents lived in a fairly small farming community, also sort of northeast of Denver. And we were living on the southeast of Denver. So driving all the way to northeast Denver put my dad in a really cranky mood because he'd get off work, we'd have to fight the traffic all the way through Denver, and it would go on and on and on. This is back before the days of having an interstate up there. So he'd get up there cranky.
Right.
My mom's parents lived in a very small house. It was on the external, it was huge, but inside it was really small. Big edifice on the front, but inside it was really small. Kitchen was tiny. The dining area virtually non-existent. And they had one of those tables like you described that kept adding leaves and leaves and leaves until there was virtually, once you were in one end on the end of the table against the wall, you were there for the duration, unless everybody else were to de-seat themselves and get out.
Right. Everybody's got to use the bathroom before you sit down, because otherwise it's a whole thing, right?
Yeah, it was a one bathroom house, and the bathroom was just small. Anyway, my dad was hard of hearing from the war. My grandfather was hard of hearing from being a machinist and being in the war. My aunt, she was hard of hearing. I don't know why. And my grandmother was hard of hearing just because of her age. And so that house, I always felt like, whether it was Christmas or whenever we were there, it was like that guy from the Maxell commercials where he just getting blown back.
Right. He's sitting in the chair with all his hair flowing back.
All his hair going back. And it was just, I would just get out and I would have to leave and walk down. There's only like 3 kids. And then the nurses from next door would come over, and the house was just wall to wall bodies. And it was just I don't know what kind of heater they needed Anthony to fix the furnace, because it was just hot as hell. And we'd be just sitting there sweating like stuck hogs. Everybody. I mean, it was just wall to wall people. And none of these people were particularly petite.
Right. Exactly.
It was just a sea of humanity.
Right. And noise.
Oh, the noise was just oh God, I think I have PTSD from that. But again, I look back on it. At the time, it was like, I don't want to do this again. And eventually everybody kind of got the picture and came to our house in South Denver, but because it was a lot bigger. But it was just, oh my God, Thanksgivings were just fatiguing.
Right. But you look back at it and you go, that was great. I mean, that's a great memory, right? I mean, now you can, I mean, it was always better when it went to your house instead, but other than that, and you discovered earplugs at some point, I'm assuming.
No, I had to get through my Deep Purple phase before I discovered Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple before I discovered earplugs.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Man.
I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Brian. Well, that's a great memory. Thank you for sharing with us. I really appreciate you being the first guinea pig. Thanks for stepping up and participating, my friend. I appreciate that. It's a great memory. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine everybody being half deaf and yelling at each other across the table? Not because they're mad, just because they can't be heard. And wall-to-wall people. Brian didn't say how big the kids' table was, but maybe that was the place to be, was at the kids' table. At least you weren't in that huge press of humanity in the dining room. You get it going. Oh, man. All right. Well, as you could tell, phone lines are open, 319-527-3864. We'd love to hear about your Thanksgiving memories or what you're thankful for, or your weird Thanksgiving traditions. If you've got an unusual or what you think to be an unusual Thanksgiving tradition, we'd love to hear about that as well. I've got some Thanksgiving traditions. I've got some favorite Thanksgiving movies. I've got some side dishes. We talked a little bit about some of them yesterday. Different Thanksgiving recipes that you might want to share. Today is just a day to hang out and to relax and kibitz a little bit. So feel free to give us a ring, 319-527-3864. The Michael Duke Show continues. We're going to be back with more here in just a moment. And we'll return. Don't go anywhere. Back right after this.
If you missed the show, you can listen to it on your time with Dukes On Demand. Oh, and it's free. Like America used to be. Streaming live every weekday morning on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
Okay. Excuse me. Let's see what else. I'm going back, scrolling backwards here. Dad said, yes, Anthony, you did do his boiler in late spring. He's grateful for you. There you go. Anthony also said something earlier. He said, I'd like to absolve myself of any responsibility of the structure fire. The vague reference there makes me feel uneasy as a heating guy. Had nothing to do with the boiler. The boiler was out in the garage, which was a detached structure. Had everything to do with my my coal-fired fireplace and my soon-to-be son-in-law, who didn't know exactly how to run things the way that they were supposed to be run, and that's okay. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Had nothing to do with the furnace. There you go. And Frank, in fact, Frank knew the story there. There you go. Brick says, maybe you were dreaming of being waterboarded. That's probably as close as you can get to the truth on that. That's how it feels sometimes, you know? Let's see. To an extent, don't use it often. What is the thing here? Benadryl is your friend. Oh, Bill says don't, because somebody said Benadryl is my friend if I want to stay clear. And it says don't use it often, crosses the blood-brain barrier and is linked to Alzheimer and dementias. Luckily, I don't usually use that, so that's fine. Trump vacated Biden's pardon of last year's turkey, said it was the auto pen. Oh my God, that's hysterical. Anthony says, for your CPAP when you're sick, put a small dollop of Vicks on the seals of your mask and forcefully mentholate yourself at 350 psi. That might work. That might work. There you go. Yeah, let's see where it's going on. In Denver, Colorado, said Harold, 18 years old, our first Thanksgiving, we forgot to take out that, whatever the stuff that comes with the gizzards, your giblets, you forgot to take the giblets out. We've all done it, Harold. I remember one year I cooked the whole turkey with the giblet bag up in the neck. Didn't realize it until later. I was like, oh, that's weird. Anyway, I got you, man. It happens to the best of us. Let's see. My memories is that it used to be 20 below or colder on Thanksgiving, said Chris. Yeah. I mean, there was plenty of times when it was, plenty of times that it was 20, 30 below. Let's see. Good morning. When are we going to do recipes? We'll probably do recipes in the second hour, Harold, if you want to wait around. I got another one. Let's see. Rick says, thanks for that, Brian. Thanks for sharing the memory. Yeah, you guys can all share memories. We could all do it together. Queue up. I've got all the lines open right now if you want to come in. You burnt coal? Yes, I did. I burned a lot of coal. I had I had a hybrid stove. It was a wood coal stove, and it did both, either wood or coal. And man, that coal was so nice. You could heat that house up to 70 degrees. Furnace couldn't keep up with it. I mean, the house is a big chalet style A-frame with big, tall 2.5-story ceilings in the living room. You could just never get the place warm enough because the furnace couldn't keep up. Didn't have enough baseboard, I don't think. But you fire up that coal stove, man, it would heat that whole place up to 70 degrees. It was amazing. All right. Did you guys ever sled down Gilmore on Thanksgiving, says Frank? No, Gilmore would be, I don't think Gilmore was, that was not a, that was not a place to go sledding. We had plenty of room. My folks have got a 1/4-mile driveway, so we just sled down the driveway. That was the fun part. That's some good stuff right there. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. I don't know what Bill was talking about specifically, but whatever it was good. Gordon says a mantra I teach my EMT students is every medication is a poison. It's dosed so we don't kill the patients. And as you take medication, your body adjusts to make it less effective. Yeah. Okay, I'm all caught up. Now, I would not sled down Gilmore, Frank. That's taking your life in your own hands. Now, I have sled a little bit down Goldmine, and I have sledded down sledded. I don't know what used a sled. Whatever the proper English is there, I have slid down my parents' driveway as well. That was a lot of fun growing up. We had some good times there. Jeffrey says, I still want your bourbon glazed ham recipe. We're going to get to that. Jeffrey. I can't just give that stuff away. You got to work for it. It's not that hard. In fact, if you search my Facebook page, it's probably in last year's or the year before's Christmas Facebook post. But I'll share it with you. We'll get to there. All right. We got to go. Let's do it. The Michael Duke Show.
The Michael Duke Show. Seriously humorous with a pinch of intellect. Sorry. That is humorous. Here's Michael Dukes.
All right. 30 blissful degrees outside the studios here on top of the world in beautiful Homer, Alaska. Hope it's warm where you're at. Although Debbie just said it's clear with a chill in the air. Again, somebody was talking about how they always remember Thanksgiving being cold. I mean, I remember many Thanksgivings where it was 10, 20 below. And I remember one year, gosh, I don't know how cold it must have been, but I do know that my folks basically left the vehicle running outside the entire time we were there because it was so cold. It must have been 40 or 50 below. But we pulled up and then just basically locked the car and left it running because it was it was super cold. I remember plenty of those kind of times out there as well. Let's see. Barbara says in the chat room, my childhood was in a little town near Niagara Falls, New York. Families in Ontario would drive over. Probably 100 folks would pile in. Great times. Wow. 100 folks for Thanksgiving dinner? Dang. You thought your place was crowded, Brian. Dude, man, that's amazing. All right. 8 degrees in Wasilla with a chance of cold. 25 in Breezy and Kenai. 5 above in Fairbanks. Terry's in Wasilla. She says it feels like spring today. 21 degrees. 11 degrees at Pump Station 5, says Gordon. So thank you guys for giving us a sound off there where it's at. Yeah, they're expecting rain tomorrow down here on the peninsula. I mean, because that's what you need on Thanksgiving Day is an inch of rain. But so hopefully everybody out there takes their time and drives slowly and we'll get things ready to roll here. All right. So the phone lines are open. Brian was the only one brave enough to call in today to share his Thanksgiving memory, but you can as well. 319-527-3864. Tell us what your favorite Thanksgiving memory is. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Sorry, my dog did you just throw up on me? I just want to know. Did you just? No. Okay. All right. He was making some weird noises down there. All right. But yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys have to say here about your memories and just share it with us. We'd love to do that thing. Thanksgiving dishes. Yesterday we were talking about a few side dishes that I had never heard about before. I am going to try the new one, which is the pimento cheese and green bean casserole, because I love green bean casserole and I love pimento. I love pimentos and cheese. This sounds like a win-win. And so I was able to track down the recipe. Apparently, this was an old website that I was pulling it down off of, and the article about all these things, because it was not the link that it gave it to ended up being dead. The website was down that it had been on, because this article was back from 2015, almost 10 years ago. And so I was able to find the pimento cheese green beans, and it sounds delicious. It takes 2 pounds of green beans, 3 large pimentos diced into small pieces, a cup of frozen corn, 2 cups of milk, some sharp cheddar cheese and some regular cheddar cheese, some all-purpose flour, salted butter, grated onion, hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon or quarter teaspoon of black pepper. And you get the green beans cooked, and then you heat the butter and the onions and everything together in the saucepan till they get to be translucent. Then you put the flour on top of it to make a roux. You whisk some milk into it, and then you add a handful of cheese to the mixture, and you stir it up until everything becomes smooth. Then you have got the hot sauce and the Worcestershire and the pimento pieces and everything else, and then you toss in the green beans and the corn, and then you transfer it to a serving dish, and it looks delicious. Absolutely. I've already sent it to my wife yesterday and said, can we make this? Do we have the stuff that we need? We're going to try that for sure. The pimento green beans. That sounds like a delicious recipe. There was also another recipe, which is the Brussels sprouts au gratin, which it's creamy Brussels sprouts, creamy Parmesan Brussels sprouts gratin with bacon, and everything's better with bacon. You got to love those sides. You got to love the sides. That's some delicious stuff right there. All right. Let's continue on here. We got some other recipes and things that we can talk about, but right now I see that Bonnie's on the line. Maybe Bonnie wants to share with us. Let's go see what she has to say. Good morning, Bonnie. What's on your mind?
Well, good morning to everyone out there in the world of thinking about the ways turkeys have been cooked in my lifetime. A long time ago, far away before I lived in Alaska, I cooked it in a regular electric oven.
Right.
That was good. Then I came up to Alaska, lived in central Alaska, and I did not have a real oven, but I had a wood stove, and I had a big cook pot, and so I had to put baling wire in the cook pot to hold the turkey there, and then put a little foil there, cook that on the wood stove, and that worked very well. So you could be I've learned when you live in Alaska, you have to be very imaginative, because life is very different in the world when you come to Alaska. It's not. And then I started thinking about my first turkey that I ever cooked. So I moved out of my parents' house. I was very young, and I thought I knew everything, and I didn't. So I was trying to cook this turkey, and I put it in the oven, electric oven. And then I called my mother up, and I said, well, where are the giblets? Where are they? And she said, well, you have to look in the back, dear. So what I did, I cooked the giblets in the bag. It was already cooked. So anyway, people can probably start laughing about, because I watched a TV thing last night about some show where the turkey fell on the floor, so she was chasing around the floor, and I'd done that too. So if you really admit how many ways you have not cooked the turkey correctly. So
right.
Thank you, Michael Dukes, for all your entertainment. I've been following KFAR Kapar for years, and I enjoy you every day. So you have everybody out there, have a happy Turkey Day. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Right. Well, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas and happy Thanksgiving, and happy holidays to you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I think everybody at one point, if we're honest with each other, have cooked the giblets in the bag, in the neck of the turkey, right? I mean, right? I mean, raise your hand out there if you have cooked the turkey and it's my job to cook the turkey, right? I help prep it. I do everything else. That's my job, is to cook the turkey. And I admit it, cooked the giblets in the neck, in the bag by myself. And the worst part was that I deprived myself of a great place to stuff some of the great stuffing in there, right? Because the stuffing, you could put stuffing up in the neck there and it gets super juicy because all the juices run right down into it. I deprived myself of a big place to put some of that juicy stuffing by forgetting to take the giblets out. That's it right there. Tyler's on the phone from up in Fairbanks. Tyler, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, this is Sourdough over on YouTube.
Oh, hey, Sourdough.
That's fine. That said, Thanksgiving will be kind of a downer for us this year, but we do have good memories.
Yeah.
One of the best memories I ever have is my mother. One year, I was a teenager, I think, and she forgot to turn on the oven one year, or maybe she accidentally turned it off.
Right.
Like one of those electric ovens or whatever. Accidentally turned it off at some point, so the turkey wasn't cooked come dinner time. And so it's a running joke that myself or one of my brothers will just randomly turn the oven off on her at a random time, just to get the heart racing a little bit.
So
and it's a good time. She's such a good sport about it. But that's probably one of my most fondest Thanksgiving memories.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there where the turkey isn't quite ready because maybe we started late or it wasn't hot enough or whatever. But the fact that you open up the thing and you're like, this turkey is cold, I could see that. But then the fact that you guys take it further yet and just keep her on her toes, you guys are mean. That must induce a little panic in your mom. I mean, she must be a good sport about it, but seriously, what is she? Every time she walks through the kitchen, she touches the stove to make sure it's hot.
I don't know. I don't know if she realizes that we consider it a tradition, but we all have a good laugh about it. But
she's going to be
here. I can just be super thankful for my amazing wife with all she's going through.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for your show. It keeps me informed, and it's all in all, it still has been a great year.
Yeah.
Be thankful for.
Well, that's good. That's good, my friend. I'll tell you, sometimes family, it makes it difficult. I mentioned during the break, somebody said, Tyler or Sourdough was saying that he had a problem with, mom and there's always some kind of family drama. It's hard sometimes. Family is hard. It's the one group of people that you can't choose to be a part of. And my wife's been estranged from her mom for quite a while. And, sometimes it takes that time apart to make things better. And hopefully it comes back. But just be thankful for what you got. Like you said, your wife and those memories. That's some great stuff, my friend. I appreciate you sounding off and being part of it today. Thank you for sharing the memory of turning the stove off on mom every time. That's amazing. All right, we got to go. We're out of time for hour one. Back with hour two right after this. Man, can you imagine? Can you imagine mom walking by that stove on the second or third time? Like, why is this thing off? If she ever figures it out, you're going to be in trouble. You are going to be in trouble, my friend. That's what I'm saying. Chris says, I have cooked the turkey and the giblet several times. I know, right? You're like, oh. Gordon says, I need that pimento. I need that pimento recipe. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Because the site's not up there anymore, I had to go to the Wayback Machine and look at a posting. Luckily, the Wayback Machine had a snapshot of it from 2015. Let me see if I can PDF this thing here. Gordon, send me an email and I will send you the doc file because I made a Word doc out of it. Send me an email, me@michaeldukeshow.com, and I will email you the recipe if that works for you. And you could share it and I'll post it up. Maybe I'll post it up on our Facebook page as well. Let's see. Excuse me. Does anybody else prefer the synthetic cranberries that make the vacuum sound like dog food when you dump the can? Those are real cranberries, I'll have you know, Richie. They're just loaded with other stuff. My wife has made she's made the cranberry sauce fresh, and I like them both. They're definitely different. Definitely different, but I do love that. Gordon says he does not care for regular green bean casserole, but he's looking forward to that pimento one. So, does anyone notice that there are mushrooms hanging upside down over our host? So you talking about those mushrooms right there? Yeah, they're like mistletoe, only they're weird. Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts. I love me some Brussels sprouts, man. I'm going over here. 29 degrees in Soldovia. I hate rain in the winter. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. It's definitely crazy. All right. Brian says, I have this theory that at times air quality in Fairbanks was bad enough that one could shut the fuel off on its own rig and it would continue to run. It's not that bad. Jeez. Guys, make it sound like it's downtown LA or something. I mean, there are times when that inversion holds everything down there, but it's not as bad as it's not as bad as you think it is. Let's compare stuffing recipes, says Harold. Well, all right, you first. Drop your stuffing recipe there in the chat room. I love stuffing. MD, did you start out with Problem Corner or the Grumpy Old Men? I started off with the Grumpy Old Men. It was a show. It was the Interior Alaska Roundtable. That was the name of that show, and it was Frank DeLong and Stu Rothman and Harold. What was his name? Harold, not Cal. It was. It was his last name was the name of one of the major roads in Fairbanks, and I can't remember right now. Harold was in there. Vern. Is it Vern Troyer? Anyway, Grumpy Old Men. I started off with that show, and that show kind of came apart later on, and that's when my show was born on a Saturday, because we used to do the Grumpy Old Men on Saturday. And that's where my show was born. Started off with my show on the weekends. And then I took over for Problem Corner. And then I came on after Problem Corner. And that's where the whole thing kicked off. 1999, my friends. 1999. That was the deal. And I did both the Grumpy Old Men, and I later hosted Problem Corner for a couple years as well, which was kind of a big deal for me because I remember listening to, Lee Russell and Jerry Fears and Bill Wally and all those guys that used to host Problem Corner on and off. So definitely a bucket list thing for me as well. 40 degrees in Kodiak. Feeling thankful for that and for the life my dog Bruce has shared with me. He barks in Spanish, but he and I have managed to make it work for 12 years. He's failing fast. I'm sorry, Paul. That's a hard thing. It's a hard thing when you lose your companion like that. Sourdough says, the sides and dessert are my target food. I could take or leave the gobble bird. It's good, but meh. I love it. Laddie McBride. Laddie McBride was on the program as well. No, it's Harold Gillum. There we go. It was Harold Gillum. That was his name. Thank you, Dad. Dad just throw it out there. Our smoked salmon supplier, Good News, brought in a case of Alaska-made cranberry sauce from Delta Junction Cranberries. I'll be using a jar in the middle of our relish tray this year. Oh, that sounds delicious. I want to try. I want to do that. I want to do that. All right. Well, hour one's in the can. Hour two is dead ahead. And I'm hoping more of you call in, because otherwise it's going to be really boring with me talking about other. I've shared all my stuff that I wanted to share. So now we're going to get into movies and recipes and traditions, but hopefully some of you will participate. All right, here we go. Let's go.
buddy, put that thing back in its holster. We haven't gone anywhere.
I don't understand.
Check out the MichaelDukesShow.com for information on how to get access to the podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal.
The Michael Dukes Show.
The greed and the entitlement is astounding to me.
What more could you want from a low-budget radio program?
This is a dumpster fire.
That was just BS.
It is time to get a new perspective.
We know just what you need, and we've got just the cure. Open wide and prepare for a steaming hot cup of freedom.
I just don't fathom it.
The Michael Dukes Show, streaming live across the world.
Live around the world on the internet at michaeldukeshow.com and across the state of Alaska on this, your favorite radio station and or FM translator. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Thanksgiving Memories edition of the Michael Dukes Show. It's we're ready to go, man. We are ready to go. This today is for if you're just joining us, you're just waking up and joining us. Congratulations for sleeping in a little bit. We appreciate that. I mean, I would love that. Today we're talking about memories. We're talking about Thanksgiving. We're talking about all the things we're thankful for. We've had a few folks call in and share their memories of Thanksgiving holidays and what they're grateful for today. And the phone lines today are open for those of you who'd love to participate. If you have somebody or something that you're very thankful for, then this is the place to do it. 319-527-3864. 319-527-3864. I shared some of my memories from Thanksgiving and some of the things that I remember the most, mostly, about family and some of the crazy times getting there. We were talking about Fairbanks used to be a lot colder, it seems like, for Thanksgiving. I'm not trying to jinx you guys. I'm just saying it used to be. There were plenty of times when I remember it being, like I said, I remember one time specifically where the folks had to leave and my dad's in the chat room. He could tell me how many times this happened, but I remember at least one time where we got there and he basically just locked the doors on probably didn't have to lock the doors back then, but he just locked the doors on the car and left it running for the 4 or 5 hours that we were there at Thanksgiving, because you weren't starting it otherwise. You weren't starting it otherwise. It was 50 below. If it was a degree, it was 50 below, and just left the vehicle running the whole time. But yeah, it seems to be a little bit milder here. 30 degrees right now here down on top of the world in Homer, Alaska, and they're saying that we should expect a little rain tomorrow, like an inch of rain. It's supposed to rain pretty hard. So be careful out there as you travel amongst from one place to the other to enjoy your Thanksgiving time. I'd love to hear what your guys' favorite Thanksgiving memories are, what you're thankful for, favorite weird, if you got a weird tradition or a dish that you think is unusual. That would be awesome. Sourdough just in the chat room just said, Sourdough Steel said, I remember in 2010 or 11 when it rained for days leading up to Thanksgiving and then having to drive on the Richardson skating rink on the way to my parents' house. I remember that year. For sure. And I was very grateful that we were at home doing our Thanksgiving. It's all good out there. All good. Always good. All right. So what are some of the other things that we should be talking about here? So I've got top 10 Thanksgiving traditions in the U.S. And then I've got some other new trends that people could maybe you've never. Some of these are kind of interesting. Some of them I don't know if I would do or not. So we got some Thanksgiving traditions. We basically got some of the best dishes, and I'm talking about one of the ones that I just sounded delicious was the pimento cheese green bean casserole. So it's a green bean casserole, but instead of cream of mushroom soup or whatever you use, It's with pimento cheese, and that sounds delicious. Somebody else in the chat room has already asked for the recipe, which I found by going into the Wayback Machine on the internet because the thing wasn't up there anymore. So we got some of that, and then we've got the 45 best Thanksgiving movies to watch. And the movies that will prep you for the holidays is what they say. Now, what I found interesting about this list is that I had probably only heard of maybe 5 or 6 of the 40 movies. And I probably only watched 3 or 4 of the movies that are up, maybe more than that. But we'll go through those as well. But as I was saying the other day, we've got certain things that we like to watch as a family. And I don't know how it happened, quite honestly, because I am not a fan of, I've never been a fan of Snoopy and Peanuts. That's just, I don't know why. I know, call me a bah humbug, call me a curmudgeon or a grump or whatever. I've never liked Peanuts, Charlie Brown, whatever. It's just, I don't know, something about it. But somehow my kids love it. And so I would be sitting in the background reading a book or something. They would be watching the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. So that's good. I mean, that's a good one. But we have always, for the last, I guess it's been close to 15 years now, since streaming really took off and you have a lot of things available on stream that you can watch at any time. We started watching on Thanksgiving. We started watching a single episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know that's not very Thanksgiving-y, but it's a funny story. And it's an episode called Pangs, like Hunger Pangs. It's called Pangs. And it's the story of Buffy trying to cook the perfect Thanksgiving meal for her friends and family while she's being interrupted by a bunch of angry spirits trying to kill them all. It's hysterical. It is a hysterical episode. And we just love it. It's very fun to watch, and it's something that we enjoy every Thanksgiving. And it just kind of is part of that tradition. So if you're looking for something to watch and you want to watch an hour of something funny that's very Thanksgiving-y and fun, you can watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the episode called Pangs. And then for Christmas, we always watch it's a very supernatural Christmas episode, which is season 3 something episode, whatever, a very supernatural Christmas, which is always also very funny. But so anyway, we'll talk about some of the other Thanksgiving movies that, again, some of these, Charlie Brown Christmas is in, or Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is in there, but some of these other ones, I'm like, I would not consider those to be very Thanksgiving-y, as it were. So I guess my first question to you guys is, going back to the food, is what do you consider to be traditional side dishes? What is the traditional Thanksgiving meal look like? You got to have the turkey. You got to have the dressing, the stuffing, right? Do you have to have potatoes, or is it rice? That's always, remember Mike Shower, that was always the argument in his household. It's either potatoes or rice for the side dish. Which one do you we never had rice when I was a kid. We had rice, but not as a side dish on Thanksgiving. It was always potatoes of some kind. I prefer au gratin potatoes personally. And now everybody's on about this Hasselback way of cooking potatoes. I don't know if you've seen Hasselback potatoes. It's where they're sliced into thin coins and they leave them kind of whole in the deal. That's the big way, apparently, to cook them. But so you got turkey, you got stuffing, you got potatoes, maybe. I think the green bean casserole is a must for me. That's just for me. I love that. The sweet potatoes My wife is I don't like sweet potatoes. Squash and sweet potatoes, the two things I just know. I mean, I'll taste them, but it's not something that I long for. Although my wife makes it with the brown sugar and the marshmallows on top and does all that stuff. It's you know, and the kids love it. So that's the important part. They get a chance to try it all out. And of course the dressing, stuffing, dressing. I guess that's the core, isn't it? Oh, Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts cooked in bacon grease. So you cook the bacon and then you put the Brussels sprouts in, you take the bacon out, you cook the Brussels sprouts for a little bit in the bacon grease, and then you add the chicken stock to the top of it, and then you let it cook, and then you add the bacon back in, and it is delicious. Love me some Brussels sprouts. So that is our traditional sides as you go through there. I don't know what yours are, but that is our traditional turkey dinner. And of course, pie, and more pie. Pumpkin pie. Yep. My grandma's, it's like a chiffoned pumpkin pie. So instead of being thick and condensed, it's like tall and fluffy. Absolutely delicious. Lemon meringue pie. Yep. Terry always makes me a coconut pie because I love coconut. And this year, I think they're doing a grasshopper pie and pecan pie. Terry's making a pecan pie. So there's going to be some pies this year, some more pies than you. In fact, I looked in the fridge or the freezer yesterday, and there's a stack of pie crusts about 8 or 9 deep. So it's going to be a busy day to get all those things ready. All right, let's go over to the phones at 319-527-3864 and see what you guys have to say. Miguel is on the line. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. What's going on with you?
Hey, good morning. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and everybody in our great state of Alaska. It's good to have a happy day. Ignore all the other BS until we come back next Monday. I just want to wish everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Be grateful for the little or how much you have. And if you know, especially for our military out there, those that don't have family out here, if, some of them will be working the gate. If you could bring them a plate of food, if you live by a military installation, they would be grateful. Those military and airmen will be grateful if they're working the gates that day for a plate of food. You know, our regular hospitality. And yeah, I'm with you, Mike. We got our own pecan pie, and like I'll tell you, yeah, we make a lot of food usually when we do cook.
No,
we're not doing it this year.
yeah,
We get ready to travel again in a couple weeks.
I know you said it yesterday. I mean, you laid out all the things that you cooked, and I was like exhausted just from. Give us what, Miguel, what's your standard Thanksgiving fare? Because it was like, I mean, you must have like 50 people there. How much, what are you cooking for Thanksgiving?
So my wife makes an amazing turkey and homemade green bean casserole, homemade cornbread, a lot of homemade stuff. And then, you know, from my mother's side of the family, they're from Puerto Rico. So I make a pork shoulder, Puerto Rican style, and then I make a Puerto Rican rice. And I also said on the comments yesterday, Mike, look up the recipe how to make this coconut drink. I'm sure you like it. It's called Coquito, COQUITO. I'm sure you would enjoy it. It's a little bit of cinnamon stick, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of coconut, and we put 100 proof Bacardi in there. Freeze it a little bit, and then you eat it like ice cream.
Coquito. Okay, well, you talked me into that, and you do flan and pies and everything else. I mean, this is
we do flan.
This is a fat guy's dream. I mean, right? You know, Thanksgiving is a fat guy's dream. Just eat until I'm comatose, and then you got leftovers for days, right?
Yeah, and we have pancit too, because you know my wife's from the Philippines. We have pancit. It's like a blessing to have that for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
And what is that? What is that?
So it's like a very thin noodle mixed with some kind of vegetables and meat. It's very delicious. So it's just it's their way of saying to keep the continued blessings in your home and blessing for others. So
oh man,
it's a pretty. They do that for holidays and birthdays and anniversaries. It's just to keep the blessings for everybody going.
Right.
So just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, don't go yet. Don't go yet, Miguel, because you said Puerto Rican style pork shoulder. I got to know more. Can you just share with me real quick here in a minute or so? What does that mean when you say Puerto Rican style pork shoulder? I've never had Puerto Rican food that I know of. So tell me what what that is and how that what makes it so special.
Well, you know, you buy a typical pork shoulder. Of course, I buy it with the skin over it because I make what do you call the skin very crunchy.
Right.
So when you could just take the skin in. So what it is, you cook it for about 4 to 5 hours. You put the seasonings. I use my grandmother's seasonings that I was taught. It was passed down the line, so we don't lose the tradition. So we keep passing it on down the line all the way to the children, to the grandchildren, to the great grandchildren. Cook it for about 4 to 5 hours. At the last 20 to 30 minutes, you take a little bit of beer, put it on the skin with some butter, and it makes the crust really, really hard. So the skin, so you can just peel off the skin. You put some seasoning in, like sazon. You put adobo. You put garlic cloves in it. You put some bay leaves, and then I do my seasoning, and then my wife does half of her seasoning from the Philippines. We combine them together, and it just comes out delicious.
Man, that sounds good. I want to come to your house for Thanksgiving. That sounds delicious. But all right,
Yeah,
well,
I'll be down your way next May. I'll be down in your area, so maybe I'll come stop by and say hello or something.
Yeah, say hello. But you just got to bring the pork shoulder. That's the only price to entry is the pork shoulder. All right, Miguel. Well, thank you for sharing your recipes and your traditions. It's great, isn't it? This is a great time of year. I just feel so good about everything that's going on, and now I want to try this pancetta. I want to try that as well. So I'm going to be looking around.
Well, when I come down in I think next May we're going to be down there. I'll have my wife make some. We'll bring you some homemade pancetta.
Oh man! All right. Well, we got to try that. That's going to be fantastic. All right, Miguel. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your thoughts with us today. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to all, not only today, but every day. Let's be grateful, and let's all find a common ground.
You bet.
For the better of our state as well.
You bet, my friend. God's blessings to you and your family on this Thanksgiving. Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate it. All right, phone lines are open, 319-527-3864. If you want to share your secret Puerto Rican pork shoulder recipe or something else, we'd love to hear it. It's just that kind of day today. We're just hanging out. We're thinking of good things, and we're just enjoying it. We're going to come back in just a moment, and when we return, we'll have some more traditions and some more stuff. Some folks in the chat room been sharing some things, so we're going to get to that as well. And then the 45 best Thanksgiving movies to prep you for the holidays. I mean, again, I've never seen most of these, but we'll see what you think. Back with more. The Michael Duke Show, Common Sense Radio. Happy Thanksgiving.
If you missed the show, you can listen to it on your time with Dukes On Demand. Oh, and it's free. Like America used to be. Streaming live every weekday morning on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
Okay. We tried to bring Papa John's Pizza to the guard gates at Fort Wainwright, and they said that on-duty soldiers could not accept it due to security reasons. About that time, there was a shift change happening, so those that were going off shift were able to take the pizza. Yeah, I was wondering about that maybe there'd be a security risk, but you know what? I guess that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in at some point. All right. I'm scrolling backwards here. What are we talking about? I just made pumpkin pie last night. I couldn't wait till Thanksgiving, said Chris. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? That's actually one of the traditions is pie for breakfast. That's one of the traditions is pie for breakfast on Thanksgiving Day, just to get you to hold you through until the big meal there on Thanksgiving. Bill says he's like me. He said the peanuts were my least favorite as well. I don't know why. It's not that I hate it. It's not quite that strong, but I just dislike it. I don't know why. Just never been that way. Never been good for me. Miracle on 34th Street. That's on the list for sure. Holiday Inn is one of the ones that you should be. I mean, that's the one. Mashed potatoes, says Chris. Mashed potatoes. You know. And grandma's bread pudding to top it all up. I've got to find the recipe. I was so busy yesterday. I was going to look for the recipe, and I was so busy I didn't do it. So I got to see if I can find the recipe for Grandma's bread pudding recipe. Maybe Dad has it. Dad, if you're still listening, I need Grandma Faye's pudding recipe, bread pudding. Feel free to ship it over. Sourdough said mashed potatoes is a must, but we tried couscous last year. And how was that? Excuse me. Gordon said, we called those scallop potatoes back in the day, the Hasselback potatoes. We call them scallop potatoes. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they're the same thing, you know. Barbara said she loves sweet potatoes with mushrooms. And then Sourdough said, I don't know what this is. Red pepper, corn, sauteed butter, red pepper and garlic in a pan. Add the corn and drizzle a bit of turkey juice in it. That sounds good. Barbara likes cheesecake. Cheesecake on Thanksgiving? That seems a little antithetical to the pie-heavy Thanksgiving, but I mean, to each his own. I mean, I do love me some cheesecake. Terry said, we quit the traditional a couple of years ago. The kids voted my homemade clam chowder and biscuits. Hey, whatever Thanksgiving, whatever makes you happy on Thanksgiving. That is for sure. Chris says she likes asparagus. I love asparagus too, man. Asparagus is so good. That's weird. I mean, I like most of the green vegetables, which seems antithetical to somebody who's born and raised in Alaska, right? Do you even know what vegetables are? Let's see here. I'm going to try the Brussels sprouts this year, says Chris. They're delicious. Rick said, I heard grasshopper something. What? Grasshopper pie? You've never had grasshopper pie? It's made with creme de menthe and Irish cream. And it's like a chiffoned, delicious. It's like a very light pie. It's green because it dyed green, but it's called a grasshopper pie. So it's minty and chocolatey, and it's delicious. It's delicious. Everybody brings some part of the meal, says Debbie. My son brings a soda stream and provides all sorts of different flavors. This year, he's also bringing 6 pounds of T's Barbecue Connection mac and cheese. Ooh, love me some mac and cheese. Love me some mac and cheese. Chris says, all my family's down in California, the last place I want to be. Oof. Let's see. Pepperoni jammed my M4s. Kim says, I'm thankful for the Michael Duke show that helps save my sanity in the early morning hours and beyond. You rock, MD. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for participating. Dad's going to send me Grandma Faye's bread pudding recipe, guys. It's going to make it easy. He's sending me the bread pudding recipe, which means I might share it with you if you're good and nice. Shh.
The Michael Duke Show. Not your daddy. Wait, sorry. Not your daddy? Ooh, not your daddy's talk radio. Whew. I was scared for a second. Thought we were going down. Here's Michael Dukes and the show.
Okay. Little recipes. We're talking about traditions. Ken just popped into the chat room and said, are we really just sitting around listening to a fat man talk about food? Yes, we are. I mean, that's, who better to talk to you about food than a fat man? Come on, my friends. That's what I want to know. That would be fine. That would be fine. All right. So we were just talking about some of the recipes that we love and all the different things that we've got. Let me hit you with a few of the best Thanksgiving side dishes that this is according to Town and Country magazine. I mean, they're fancy. Town and Country magazine. But I do have to question it though, because their first their first choice on the best side for Thanksgiving dinner is a kale salad with quinoa. Okay, I mean, no. I'm just saying no. No. But number 2 is the oyster stuffing. We talked about oyster stuffing yesterday. Oyster stuffing with bacon scallion cream sauce. Okay, I'm all down with that. Butternut squash soup. Maybe. Cream cheese herb biscuits. Oh, that sounds like crab cakes. That's crab cake. Lobsters were served at the first Thanksgiving too. That was a big thing. I mean, that was roasted squash with goat cheese. Again, the squash thing. Everybody's all down with the squash. I don't know about that. Bourbon yams. Bourbon and whiskey fans will love this twist on a Thanksgiving staple, like sweet potatoes and yams. Baked onions with fennel breadcrumbs. Ooh. Honey glazed balsamic Brussels sprouts. Oh, this sounds so good. Bacon wrapped green beans. Yeah. Or asparagus. Bacon wrapped asparagus is also delicious. Creamy kale. Why would kale? What is the kale is a garnish. It's not something you eat. Why? Pear salad. Interesting. Roasted caramelized baby carrots. Ooh, broccoli and cauliflower au gratin. That actually with Gruyere cheese. Well, that sounds pretty delicious. Hasselback. We used to call them scallop potatoes, and now they're called Hasselback potatoes, apparently. Tom's on the line. Hold on a second, Tom. I'll be right to you. Marinated olives and goat cheese. Okay, that sounds like a great appetizer with some crispy French bread, little crostinis. Oof, yummy. Baked pumpkin risotto. Interesting. I don't know. Sweet potato casserole with marshmallow. Of course, that's a classic. Ham and cheese spinach puffs. That sounds delicious. Fondued mashed potatoes. This is the one that I was waiting for. If you can't imagine Thanksgiving without mashed potatoes, you want to take yours up a notch. Fondued mashed potatoes. I mean, literally, it's cheese and potatoes in a pot with a fondue. It's called pommes algiante. It's super creamy, silky mashed potatoes that have a starchy, cheesy pull that you've never seen before from your classic spuds. Buttery potato mixed with fresh garlic, white wine, and mild Gruyere is really the experience you'll love. I mean, I'm down with that. Get with the program. That sounds delicious. I'm going to try that one. All right, let's go over to the phones. Tom is on the line. He wants to share something with us today. So let's see what Tom has to say. Good morning, Tom. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Michael. So we had the big family, the cousins, everything. And whatever happened to those tables with 15 leaves? Because we had one too.
Yeah, I don't know. You just don't you don't see those anymore. I mean, literally, I think that my grandmother's table must have had 4 leaves on it, maybe more.
Well, I remember we had our dining room and our living room together, and when we extended that, there was a step down into the living room, and you actually had to build a support when it went out into the living room area.
Oh, right. Yeah. No,
It was so big.
Yeah. I mean, there used to be tables
anyways,
like that. I think it has to do with family size now. You just don't see those tables anymore. But yeah, I mean,
that could very well be. So, anyways, we had the cousins over and the grandmas and all that, and we all just sat down for dinner. There's probably 15 of us. All the milk's been poured. The turkey's sitting there uncut. Everybody sat down. Well, we had a pet raccoon, and he was about 30 pounds, and he was pretty fun to have as a pet when we were growing up. So he climbed up my brother's leg and got onto the table, and he made 2 passes, knocked over 6 glasses of milk, found the turkey, and he's 30 pounds. The turkey's about 25 pounds, and grabbed onto it with all 4s. My grandma's crying. My cousins are all screaming. It was hilarious. Milk spilled everywhere. My brother grabs Sam, the raccoon, with two hands, scruff of the neck, and picks him up. I don't know if you've ever seen a raccoon with birds with meat, like bird meat. They are vicious.
Right.
They turn from this fun, fluffy, I love you, Sam, to this vicious animal. And I can still picture he grabs Sam with two hands by the scruff of the neck, picks him up and the turkey, and shakes him. And the turkey falls from his hand, his claws. He's got four paws full of meat now, snarling and growling. Turkey hits the table. That's Biscuit, my dog, and throws Sam out the door. And everybody's screaming and crying except my family. We just carve into the turkey and start eating like it was a normal day. It was pretty funny.
Every great story starts with, so we had this pet raccoon. I mean, that was
yeah, exactly.
Oh my
God. By the way,
God.
Sam loved cheddar cheese, not mild cheese. It was always cheddar.
Always cheddar. Always loved the cheddar cheese. Yeah. That is hysterical.
And I think we have 6 kids in our family, and I believe I'm the only one with a picture of Sam, and I have it in my flight helmet. Actually, he's stuffed in the side of my flight helmet.
Oh, that is so great. I mean, yeah, that's not something you normally hear. Is our pet raccoon. Not something normal to have happen, but that's a great Thanksgiving memory. I'm sure for you, maybe not for the rest of your family, but it's something you can look back on now as something unique. That is great. Sam the raccoon. He loved him some turkey. He loved him some Thanksgiving turkey.
I can still picture him with 4 paws full of turkey,
shaking him until the turkey hits the table. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Tom, for sharing. Good. I appreciate it.
You guys, everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go over here. We got a call out from Nome. I don't know who this is, but let's find out. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Mike. My name is Mike also.
Hey, Mike. What's on your mind?
So I got a memory from Thanksgiving. When I first lived in Alaska in the end of the 70s and early 80s, I'd spend the winters out in a remote trapping camp west of here. And there were a few other people like-minded that were staying in remote trapping camps in the area. And we all had dog teams. And Thanksgiving was a good time to get together. Everything was frozen up enough and there was enough snow to run your dog team somewhere. So, it's November of 1980 and Thanksgiving's the next day, and so I'm getting all cleaned up and ready. And then Thursday comes and I hitch up the dogs and I head down to the camp where we were going to have our little Thanksgiving get together. And it turns out I'm a week early. So it wasn't Thanksgiving. My only real contact with the outside world during those times at that time was Armed Forces Radio out of Galena.
Right.
And I think I forgot to get a store-bought type of calendar when I went out before freeze up. We'd all go in before freeze up and then spend freeze up in the winter, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I had to make my own calendar, and I didn't mark it correctly. So anyway, I showed up early. I think I stayed a night, went back, and then I probably came back down the next Thursday, which was Thanksgiving. But that's one of my memories from Thanksgiving. And I just want to say I'm thankful for my parents. My parents always provided a good home, plenty of money and food and all of that. So there's me.
All right, Mike. Well, that's a great, you know what? It's better to be early for Thanksgiving than late for Thanksgiving. That's all I got to say,
True.
No problem there. And yeah, I'm grateful as well. My parents always provided a great home and a great Thanksgiving and a great opportunity. So thanks for sharing, Mike. We really appreciate it. Appreciate you and God bless you this season. Okay. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate that. All right. That leaves all 4 lines open. If you want to share a Christmas memory, up next, we're going to talk about the 45 best Thanksgiving movies to prep you for the holiday. And again, newsflash, you probably don't recognize a lot of these. I don't know. I haven't watched most of them, but we'll get back to it. Here we go. The Michael Duke Show, common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. We're going to be back with more right after this.
Running on 100% pure beard power. Oh, also some coffee. We dip our beard in coffee.
Ha, nice beard.
The Michael Duke Show.
Okay. All right. Well, my voice lasted for the whole show, so that was a plus. Let me see over here. Bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos. Oh. I mean, bacon anything is pretty good. Bradley says, my wife's green bean casserole with extra French's onion straws on top is my favorite. I do love that. I don't know why. It's so simple, right? It's, and I get mine with bacon. So mushrooms and bacon and green beans and the crunchy onions. Yummy. Somebody was talking about Tom's story. Sounds like baked raccoon day. Roasted raccoon is good. That's amazing. Sam is now the best Thanksgiving memory ever, says Jeffrey. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the best Thanksgiving memory ever. I mean, everybody else is traumatized, but we're laughing hysterically in the corner. I think that's just great. All right. Watch the original Miracle on 34th Street. That's one of the movies that's in the list for sure. I haven't watched it in years, but we're gonna get to it. When you're late to Thanksgiving, that means the dishes are done and the leftovers are separated. I'm just saying, says Brian. He's trying to make it easy on himself. I'll take some of this and some of this and some of this. And I didn't have to do any of the dishes. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Absolutely. All right. And then Jesse, you just can't win me over. You can't win me over, Jesse. She says, kale and quinoa are delicious. You should try the kale and quinoa salad from Costco. I'd rather eat a bar of soap. I just really would rather eat it. I will say that the only time that I've liked kale is that they made these kale chips with garlic. They were called vampire chips. They were dried kale with garlic chunks on them. That was good. It's the only way that I would eat kale. Kale smoothie. Chris says she loves kale. That you're making me question you right now, Chris. Just saying. Like I said, make sure that you cook your kale with extra olive oil so it slides into the trash easier when you're done. That's I don't see likes when we hit them there, Rick. I don't see the likes because I'm in another interface. I'm on the StreamYard so that you guys, I forgot to turn on I'm sorry. I forgot to turn on the comments this morning. Anyway, I can see all that. Terry asked, Ken, you got your grumpy pants on? I mean, because he was talking about listening to a fat guy talk about food. I mean, who else would you listen to talk about food? I mean, what do you think about? All right. Ivory or Dove? Inquiring minds want to know. I would have to say that it's probably Dove would probably be the one to eat. Or Irish Spring. If you're going to eat a bar of soap, might as well be zesty. Zesty. My favorite movies is Christmas Vacation and Home Alone. Those are both great Christmas movies. Both of those are funny in their own way, for sure. Frank says, I won't even try kale or okra. I actually like okra. Okra is pretty good. Depends on what you put it in, of course, but especially okra in jambalaya. If you're making your own jambalaya, ooh, so good. Michael, I remember your wife makes great pies. She does make some great pies. That woman is amazing. And she was already, like I said, I opened up the freezer yesterday and there's like a stack that's this high of frozen pie crust, Marie Callender frozen pie crust. She doesn't make the pie crust. I don't have the patience for that. But she's already got the list, pumpkin pies, lemon meringue, coconut pie, pecan pie. I think she's doing an apple pie with crumble. And then my daughter's talking about doing a grasshopper pie or a chocolate silk pie. I mean, we'll have enough pies that it won't matter. They'll just be pies for days. It's going to be great. We always watch, Sarah says, we always watch the Hunger Games films during Thanksgiving week, for the irony. Absolutely. And Miguel says, Die Hard is an absolute Christmas movie, Mike. Absolutely. Anybody that disagrees with me on that, you'll fight me. Fight me. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. I mean, come on. Just come on down. Ho, ho, ho. It is a Christmas movie. Bill says Irish Spring is Jameson flavored. Maybe I just my wife makes the best pumpkin 3.14. That's pie, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I gotta say that my grandmother's pumpkin pie is probably the best pumpkin pie I've ever had. It's a chiffoned. It's got like 8 eggs in it, and it just turns out it's not condensed. It's light and fluffy. So good. So good. Best pumpkin pie ever, hands down.
The Michael Duke Show. Not your daddy. Wait, sorry. Not your daddy? Ooh, not your daddy's talk radio. Whew. I was scared for a second. Thought we were going down. Here's Michael Dukes and the show.
Okay. One final segment of our Thanksgiving special show. Phone lines are still open if you want to share a Thanksgiving memory. I'm still laughing about Sam the raccoon. That's probably one of the best Thanksgiving memories I've ever heard. That's fantastic. But before we go, I'm going to break into I'm going to break into the 45 Thanksgiving movies to prep you for the holidays. And we'll get to that here in a second. But Randy's on the phone. And since I advertised the call, let's just get to it. We'll see what Randy has to say. Good morning, Randy. What's on your mind for this Thanksgiving?
Hi there, Michael. I just wanted to say I think my most memorable Thanksgiving movie, which is not really all about Thanksgiving, but had Thanksgiving scene in it, was Rocky 1. Did you ever see Rocky 1?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, way back in the day. Sure. Who hasn't seen Rocky? I mean, you can't be an American. You could be a commie and not watch. You got to be an American to watch. Rocky is, yes, I've seen Rocky.
Anyway, I just thought it had a great scene. As you recall, Adrian was very shy and Rocky was kind of pursuing her. And he was invited to Adrian and Paulie's house. Paulie was Adrian's brother. And he was invited for Thanksgiving dinner. And Paulie was trying to get the two together because she was so shy. And he suggested that she and Rocky go out. And she didn't want to because she made it to she's got a Thanksgiving turkey in the oven and everything. And as you may recall, Adrian said, "You want the bird?" He went into the oven, grabbed the whole turkey, and grabbed a drumstick off for himself and threw it out in the alleyway and said, "Oh, you want the bird? Get the bird! Get out of the house!" And then she ran back and hid in the back bedroom, and finally Rocky coaxed her out. But it was a happy ending there, and so that's my favorite.
That's your favorite Thanksgiving movie. Well, that didn't make the list, but it's a good, you're right. You reminded me. It's been 25 years since I've seen Rocky. So maybe it's something we should watch with the kids because I don't think they've ever seen it either. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you, Randy, for sharing that. Okay. And I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Bye.
All right. All right. Rocky. I hadn't even thought of that one. That's not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. All right, so here are the 45 Thanksgiving movies, and this is it's the same list on several different websites, so you can Google this for yourself. But what I found interesting is that I haven't seen most of these movies. In fact, I probably haven't heard of the majority of these movies, but apparently it's It's one of those things. Number one is Instant Family from 2018 with Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne. Though not a Thanksgiving movie on the surface, one of the most emotional flashpoints happens during a Thanksgiving dinner, and they're it's Instant Family. It's called. There's one called The Oath from 2018. The entire story hinges on one chaotic Thanksgiving dinner as a suburban couple hosts their politically divided family right before everyone has to give a loyalty oath to the government on Black Friday. Okay, this one I might actually watch. I've never heard of this one. Of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is probably one of the best Thanksgiving movies. Automobiles. The Big Chill from 1983 doesn't take place over the holidays, but it does take place in the fall. I don't know how that qualifies it, but hey. You've Got Mail, which is Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, that definitely is feeling it. That takes place over the holiday, and definitely it's based on The Little Shop Around the Corner, which is an even better version of it, although that's a Christmas version with Jimmy Stewart. But not a bad movie. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, we've talked about how much I love that. Number 7 is One True Thing from 1998 with Meryl Streep. It's an emotional holiday film, and it follows Renee Zellweger as she travels back home to spend time with her parents, where she finds out that her mom is sick, and they spend their last holiday together, which sounds like a depressing movie, but hey. Scent of a Woman, 1992, Al Pacino. That is when he was the blind guy, right? Who goes to New York for his bucket list thing. Pieces of April, 2003. Again, never heard of some of these movies. That's Katie Holmes early on in a Thanksgiving dinner in New York. The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is a Roald Dahl book that they turned into an animated film. Home for the Holidays with Holly Hunter, which is that is funny. That is a dramedy with Holly Hunter, who gets pulled into debacles and misunderstandings about her Home for the Holidays. The Addams Family Values from 1993 with Raul Julia and Christopher Lloyd and company. You may not think that it's more Halloween, but it's actually got a bunch of Thanksgiving stuff in it as well. Let's see. What's Cooking 2000? I've never heard of that one. Autumn in New York 2000. Again, Richard Gere and Winona Ryder. I've never heard of that. The Ice Storm with Tobey Maguire, which is an early winter storm, a wealthy suburb, bored teenagers sneaking booze, and a recipe for a Thanksgiving classic somehow. That's all. Paul Blart Mall Cop. Never seen it. I have heard of it, but I've never seen it. But it is a Black Friday post-Thanksgiving madness trying to face the Black Friday heist. Now, this is the one that everybody recommends. Miracle on 34th Street. Its story kicks off at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and then carries on to Christmas. So it's a good start to the Thanksgiving season for sure. One of my wife's favorite movies, Grumpy Old Men from 1993. It's about lifelong frenemies, but they do end up around the Thanksgiving table as well. Sweet November 2001, Charlize Theron and Keanu Reeves in a bittersweet romance. This is one that we watch every year. 1942, Bing Crosby, Holiday Inn. Fred Astaire, Bing Crosby, with all the songs to get you in the mood for any holiday you want, but definitely the Thanksgiving one is definitely a lot of fun for sure. Ratatouille 2007. That's you got your Pixar little Remy the Rat who cooks a delicious meal for everybody. And then When Harry Met Sally, which is, it doesn't necessarily have Thanksgiving per se, but the whole thing takes place in New York in the fall. And so it's got that whole feeling of of Thanksgiving or the fall in New York. So a good one for sure. Let's see. Big Night, 1996. Never watched it. Julia, which is Julia Child and the blogger. That's what's her name? Amy Adams from 2009. Never seen it. Hannah and Her Sisters. Michael Caine, 1986. Never seen it. The Humans from 2021. Never seen it. Somehow Spider-Man made it into the quintessential Thanksgiving movie list. Nothing good happens at the Thanksgiving parade, at least not in the Marvel universe. I guess that's how they tie it to Thanksgiving. Holidate on Netflix from 2020. It's the stress of being a single one at the family Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, that sounds like fun, huh? Knives Out from 2019. No matter how tense things get with your family at Thanksgiving, just remember, it could be worse. At least your family holiday is unlikely to result in a mystery murder. That is a great movie, though, by the way. I gotta say that is a good one. Let's see. For your consideration, Funny People, The 100-Foot Journey, Free Birds, Nobody's Fool, and Waitress. I was, again, most of these movies I've never seen. A lot of them I've never heard of, but there are a few classics in there for sure. But like I said, if you want, Miracle on 34th Street, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, for sure, definitely some good ones. When Harry Met Sally, not a bad one at all. But of course, if you really want to get into the spirit, you've got to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the episode called Pangs, which I guess I should Google that for you just to see which episode that is. Season 4, episode 8. You'll thank me for it later. Season 4, episode 8. Go out there, enjoy it, and watch The Bear. Oh, man. It's going to be great. All right, we got to go. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to be back on Monday. And we're going to do some politics, but we're going to make December a little bit lighter. We're going to try and lighten it up throughout the time. So just enjoy yourselves. Take some time. Relax. Thank you for coming on board. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless you all. We'll be back on Monday. Be kind. Love one another. Live well. The Michael Duke Show. Okay. Yeah, who compiled this list? I know, right? And it was like the same list on like 3 or 4 different websites. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. I don't know. There's other Thanksgiving movies besides Charlie Brown? Yeah. No, it's one of those things. My mom's first Thanksgiving was in the hospital in 1968 when my brother was born. Nice. Who compiled this list? Fire for this person for making lists. All right. Yeah, at this point, I'm convinced that Michael is reading this list of movies so we know which ones aren't for Thanksgiving. Like I said, most of these are, questionable at some point. Buffy for Thanksgiving. I'm telling you. Episode 4, season 4, episode 3. No, 8th episode. Season 4, episode 8. Go watch it. You'll thank me later. Watch it while you're making Thanksgiving dinner. You'll thank me later even more. Right? I mean, that's kind of how it's great. You will love it. You will love it. So, all right. I think that's it. I think I'm all caught up. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber, says Miguel. Wow. That went dark real quick. Anyway, you guys, I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for coming on board. We will see you guys on Monday. Be kind. Love one another. Live well. God bless you. We'll see you next week.
We've shed our terrestrial radio skin, and now we are slimy lizard internet people. It's the Michael Duke Show.